Hey guys, I'm David DiMuzio.
And I'm Dodge Feeler, Dr. McGrath, nurse practitioner.
And today we're going to talk about what has been called the black hole of hair transplants, and that is the crown. So I wanted to get Dodge's take on the crown and my own crown, which he worked on yesterday. He put a bunch of grafts. How many grafts do you think you put in my crown yesterday?
It's probably around 800 grafts total.
Around 800 in my crown. And they did 2,400 total on the top of my head. I think 400 of those were one hair grafts, right? So my crown has been the area of my hair that has always looked the worst. Like, it's the one part that's just, there's always been at least one angle that's never really looked good in my crown. For me, if you looked at me from straight behind me, just like if you were standing behind me and you looked at me, then you wouldn't think that I had hair loss. But if you look at me from overhead, like that bird's eye view, that's where my crown has never looked good. There's always been sort of this one spot, almost like above the swirl, like above that, where it's just never looked good. And it doesn't bother me that much because it's not an area that people look at, like whoever stands above me and looks down. So in videos, it doesn't even really show up, but at the same time, it's there, and it's, I'd rather it not be. So I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out with this 800 grafts, and why is it that that's always been so difficult for me and was so difficult to sort of fill in.
When you're filling in the crown, you get a lot more surface area. That's probably the biggest thing. And then the next thing is you have what we call the whirl pattern. So you have hairs going different directions all throughout the scalp, and that's, you can look at a child and look at their whirl pattern, and you're going to see scalp. So once 40 years later, that's going to be a much harder area to fill. So it takes a lot more grafts to fill that surface area.
Sometimes you'll even see young kids and like it almost looks like they're balding in that spot, right? Just because of the way that their hair is sort of shooting out all over the place, which I guess can sort of be an okay thing if you are going bald there and you do have a little bit of that whirl pattern baldness, because it is such a natural thing for people to see. But at the same time, there is also that scalp, and something about seeing any scalp, especially when you're working on filling in your hair and making your hair look thick, is just kind of like a little disappointing, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. No, it's, whenever you're younger and it's not affecting you any, then you're not worried about it. But whenever you're already self-conscious about it, it's going to be a much larger issue.
So on my own crown, let's say I had never had any hair transplanted there. So into that area, what would you think I would need, like graft wise, in order to fill that in?
For that area, had you not, you had already had some work done in that area, I would have said you at least needed 1,500 to 2,000 grafts to cover the crown.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably. I would think maybe even closer to 2,000.
And if you're moving up towards the midsection, you would need even more.
Yeah, but just basically that crown where you went into yesterday, if there hadn't been any hair there already, probably about 2,000.
Yeah, and just to do the hairline, that's usually 2,000 grafts. So to look at that small surface area and realize you need that many grafts, that's definitely why they call it the black hole.
Yeah.